Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today I said that we were going to talk about detachment and being okay with not getting your desire and how that fits together with not accepting that you can't have your desire, with rejecting the idea that something is not meant to be, but also accepting that it's okay if you never get it. And so let's talk about, because that sounds like that doesn't go together, right? That sounds like I'm saying two different things. Let's talk about how they go together. So, a long time ago, several years ago, when I was in a different place in my manifesting journey, I was manifesting a specific person. It's not the specific person I'm with now. It was a different specific person, but I did end up manifesting that person back into my life. They were an ex. And it's really I already knew about manifesting, but it was really that desire to get back with that ex that led me on digging really deep into manifesting and really applying what I was learning and just studying and learning a lot about manifesting. So I was at a place when I was still learning about manifesting. I was new and applying this every day. And I wanted this specific person. I wanted this ex back. And I really, really, really wanted it. I wanted it so much that it felt like I needed it. And when I was looking for manifesting information, what would happen was I would just be able to not stand it in my body. I would viscerally reject when I would hear someone say you can't manifest a specific person, when I would hear someone say I needed to stop wanting what I wanted. I needed to detach. I needed to let go of my desire. Now, we've talked about detachment on this podcast before, and you know that I don't think that means that you have to let go of your desire. But let's talk about what I do think it means. So, there was that time in my manifesting journey where I just really couldn't stand it. And then it wasn't working. I wasn't getting my specific person. And so I would um, just keep going with what I was doing and keep going with what I wanted. And slowly but surely, I kind of like just let myself in my own internal world, in the privacy and the safety of my own imagination, let myself sort of ponder the question of, okay, well, what if what if I can't do this? What if this doesn't happen? And not from a place of defeat, right? Like I was committed to this. I knew manifesting worked at that point, and I was just like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure it out, and I was committed to it. But I kept hearing this letting go talk, or this like, you know, just not needing it. And I believe that now. And I started toying with how I could accomplish that inside of myself, right? But without letting go of what I wanted. I really wanted this ex back. And I didn't want to let that go. And in fact, I couldn't let it go, right? It was a desire that I had that wasn't leaving. Even if I wanted it to leave, even if I was just like, okay, well, what if I just did want someone else? And so what ended up happening for me is that I would sort of hold those two places. I would hold to the place of this is what I really want. I really want this ex back. But also, I would visit the place of I would be okay if it didn't happen. I would just visit that place. And sometimes, even just toying with the idea of visiting that place where I would be okay if it didn't happen was incredibly difficult. It was incredibly difficult, even just pondering that thought. It's like, so I would keep going and I would just sort of like hold that thought in my head and I would let myself feel whatever I felt. And as I practiced this, I would practice still wanting what I wanted, my ex back, but also acknowledging that I am okay. I would be okay. I'm okay now And I would be okay if that person never came back into my life. And it was I want to try to describe how it was. It didn't happen all at once. It happened pretty slowly, like little bits at a time as I would let go. Now it can happen quickly. Um, it can happen in a flash if you're able to hold those two things in a way that I needed to practice for. And so I would practice that. And so I have an episode. I just reposted it when my voice was messed up at the end of February, called "You Were Okay." And in that episode, I talk about your infinite okayness. And that's the place I would visit inside of myself, is where I'm okay. And ultimately, the more I practice the fact that I will be okay, that me, my God self, myself as the operant power will be okay no matter what. My ex is just a person. And whether or not they came back into my life, I was going to be fine. Now, and so there's this fine line of separation between I really wanted my ex back and also I was going to be really okay without it. And I know if you're listening to this right now, you may be in a place where that's hard to hear. It's hard to hear that you should visit that place where you're going to be okay, even if this person doesn't manifest, even if the money doesn't manifest, even if the job doesn't manifest. But what I want to tell you is that is the best place to manifest from. This place of wanting what you want 100% and also knowing that you are absolutely okay no matter what. That place of indifference or balance or whatever you want to describe it as is the best place to manifest from. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. And with that, may you manifest exactly what you want.